Hey guys, how you doing? What I want to show you today is how to make glow-in-the-dark handles like this, for example. My blackjack neck knife, you've seen this one, glows in the dark like so, really nice. Or my new baby here, my customize, I really like this one. This is Remora, the one that comes with the BK9 and BK7. This customized shape, I really dig this shape. What do you think? You know how it was originally different, it's skeletonized handle. I just did this yesterday and I'm really pleased with it. And what I want to share with you and show you is how you can do it yourself, the glow-in-the-dark handle. Especially on this small skeletonized knife. Today's example will be the little Condor Windfang. I stripped the color, stripped the coating of it, and first step what will be cover the blade with the tape, and here wherever you want your border of the handle, make a big thick, the thick of the desired handle thickness, little border, just bunch of tape, so you will pretty much create the border of it. Now what you're gonna take, in my case I'm gonna use this thin masking tape. This is 1/2 inch masking tape, and what I will do is I'll start wrapping it from here, and I'll try to center the handle, the tank, just like so. You see? Put it right into the center of the masking tape. Go around, pretty much the whole handle. I'm gonna tape like this, and I'll do it 2 or 3 times to create like a form, around the knife. Just like that, 2 times should be enough for this. So what I have now is my border, like a form, if you would do the pastry or something, you have a form that I'm gonna be pouring my epoxy in once I'll mix it up. And the fact that the knife has a skeletonized handle, what I will do is I'll set this down like so. Make sure, I'll show you. I'll fix it into position so the epoxy will not lift it up and leak underneath my barrier. I'm gonna tape it with a couple pieces of tapes into the position, and you see my baseboard here will actually create the bottom border of it. So the epoxy has nowhere to go, only down, fill up the bottom portion, in this meaning the right scale, and then the top will go, I will fill it up with the epoxy I will have. And so next step would be mix up the epoxy. You guys know how to do the epoxy, I've showed it in the other video. This will take a nice amount of epoxy. So I'll pour it all in here. Hopefully that's enough. Now I'll take the glow-in-the-dark dust, pour it in here. Now the epoxy, you all know, you can get pretty much any hardware store, internet, anywhere. Glow-in-the-dark dust, the really expensive one, Half-Life X, is from the knifekits.com website, but there is another one with the cheaper glow-in-the-dark dust. They also say their stuff lasts many hours, and that's the Glow-in-C website. It used to be cheaper, now they go for about, I think, $20, $20 something an ounce, which is a nice amount. It was this whole bag. It used to be cheaper, but they went up on price, so It's not as cheap, but it's not that bad, and it's pretty easy to do yourself. So if any of you are interested, give this a try. It's really not that hard, and pretty much all you need is, you know, this epoxy, the glow-in-the-dark dust, and a Dremel. Or you can get away even with the hand, you know, you can sand it down even by hand. So pretty simple stuff. Mix all this up, and now I'm gonna just pour it in. I'll go through the middle hole so it has space to escape the epoxy. You know, it will push up the air from the side holes, and it actually has always, there's this little space on the sides anyway, so you shouldn't have a bubble on the bottom side. And even if you do, you just mix up more epoxy then once you turn it around, and you know, just do the same thing from the other side before you would take the whole thing apart. You see, I ran a little short. It would be good to make a little more, but I'm gonna do that. I have a epoxy leaking on the bottom, but that should stop eventually. I'll try to push it in. Hopefully it will not keep going. I will just fill it up so you don't have to watch me doing this over and over. I'll just make more epoxy and fill it up to the top here, and let it dry, and then I'll be back once it's dry to show you what's the next step. Alright guys, so a couple hours later, and this should be dry, so I'm gonna rip this off the base, put the base aside, and carefully remove all the tapes from all around. It's gonna be, some areas will be hard because of the epoxy is there, especially in this case I had that spill, so it's gonna be kind of tricky. Blade will be the best helper, I guess. Remember, don't cut yourself. Okay, there we go. You can see, try to get it when the epoxy is not, don't leave it dry completely. You can see inside I can still kind of, just hardly, but it's not completely, you know, rock solid. This way you can cut the excess instead of, you can see that I can actually cut it. It's not so rock solid. I can actually cut the excess instead of fighting with it, grinding. You know, cutting is always easier than grinding it off, and cleaner. So, you know, it's kind of hard the first time because you don't really know how long those epoxies dry and stuff like that. But if you would do it a couple times, you know what's about the time to start working with it. So take off all the tapes. Also gonna try to take off this here. And again, I'll try to cut it. There you go. Now you see I have that border there, and what I'm gonna do, it's easier to do it now with the knife than do it with the grinder, because you would scratch the, you can scratch the blade if you would try to go there with the Dremel. And the epoxy still being kinda soft helps me to do the, let's call it the guard area, a little nicer with just the knife. Since I can work this a little better with the knife, I can get right around it, you know, at least a little bit. At least get it kinda straight, or kind of. You can see that I have the thumb really on the bottom of the blade, so when it's slight I don't touch my thumb. Be really careful, because one slip and it can hurt pretty bad. Okay, I leave it like this, and now I will, you can see I have the basic shape, and I will just take it to the grinder and, you know, grind this nice and flat, this nice and flat, and round off the edges, and copy the tank on the top and on the bottom. You can see that some area are not flush with the metal. The epoxy was between the tape and the tank, so I'll just, you know, sand it down right even with the tank. And like I said, then you're gonna shape your handles to, you know, your desired shape. If you want some fancy grooves or something, that's all up to you. So I'll show you the finished product later. Alright guys, so little while after sanding, and voila, we have ourselves a nice glowing little condor wind fang. You know, let me put the light on so you can see some details. It's still just a tiny little bit soft, so, you know, I'll just wait till tomorrow and give it the final sand just to get a nice smooth eco finish. But it's pretty much done, you know, nice glowing, and you can actually see, if you really charge it, or when you put the light behind it, you can see the skeletonized parts, because they will, you know, glow through. And if you want, if you desire, you can just drill the lanyard hole and have yourself a nice little neck knife. So that's how you do the glow-in-the-dark handles, epoxy handles. Nice and simple. Hope you enjoyed it, guys. Hope some of you give it a try, and take care. And remember, don't cut yourself.